When politicians refuse to pass laws the public wants, citizens have a legal backdoor to write it themselves, walking right past the legislature. This map highlights the roughly 24 U.S. states that allow the citizen initiative process. To get an initiative on the ballot, campaigns have to complete 4 physical steps: draft the text, file it with the state, gather a massive number of signatures, and win the final vote. While this process places lawmaking power directly in the hands of voters, the system contains hidden administrative and mathematical traps. State governments design these hurdles to test a campaign's organization before a single vote is cast. This split-screen chart illustrates 2 ways laws reach the ballot. On the bottom, legislative referrals offer a faster path, but you must convince elected officials to vote for it first. On top, citizen initiatives bypass lawmakers completely, requiring high-effort grassroots campaigns. Step 1 for an initiative is drafting the precise legal text and filing it with a state official, typically the Attorney General or Secretary of State. This state manual outlines a major trap: the single subject rule. Campaigns cannot combine multiple distinct policies into a single proposal. If title boards detect more than one subject, they will immediately disqualify the measure and throw it out. State boards also require a highly constrained, roughly 100-word summary for the final ballot. If drafters use complex phrasing or double negatives, they risk tricking their own supporters into voting no when they actually mean yes. Surviving the drafting phase requires tight legal formatting. Even a single misplaced clause gives the state the exact ammunition it needs to stop a campaign on technicalities. Once the text is approved, the campaign must collect voter signatures. The state calculates the required number using a strict threshold, usually between 3 and 15% of the total votes cast in the last election for governor. 17 states add a geographic distribution requirement. You cannot simply collect all your signatures in one major city. You have to gather support evenly across the map, hitting quotas in multiple counties or legislative districts. Tying signature quotas to specific districts creates a dangerous vulnerability: the redistricting trap. We can see this by looking at Mississippi. Their state constitution mandated campaigns gather an equal share of signatures from 5 specific congressional districts. After the 2000 census, the state lost population and reapportioned down to 4 districts. Because the Constitution still required signatures from 5 districts, the state Supreme Court ruled the math was impossible and voided the entire ballot initiative process. The signature requirement operates as a strict geographic math problem. As state population lines shift over time, those administrative changes can completely eliminate direct democracy until the legislature fixes the rules. To meet these massive signature quotas, successful campaigns use the snowflake model. Instead of issuing top-down commands, they empower local volunteer leaders to manage their own teams on street corners and in community centers. This physical collection phase is highly pressured. Depending on the state, organizers have a strict window of anywhere from 90 days to 2 years to hit their exact mathematical targets. Hitting the exact legal target guarantees failure. When organizers submit the pages, the board of canvassers scrutinizes every line, actively purging signatures from unregistered voters, illegible names, or duplicates. This progress bar illustrates the buffer strategy. If the law requires 350,000 signatures, a campaign has to collect over 450,000 to absorb the state's purge and stay above the legal minimum. Raw political enthusiasm cannot secure a spot on the ballot alone. Campaigns have to treat signature gathering as a hyper-efficient logistics operation to outlast the state's verification process. If a campaign survives the administrative drafting and the geographic math, they earn their reward. The state certifies the signatures, and the measure is officially printed on the ballot for the public to decide. Even then, making the ballot does not guarantee a victory at 50%. States like Florida and Colorado now require steep supermajorities, up to 60%, to pass constitutional amendments. The rules to draft, file, gather, and vote vary wildly by location. Go to your state's Secretary of State website today to see if you live in one of the 26 initiative states, and check exactly what signature threshold you need to meet. The system is heavily guarded by bureaucratic and geographic traps, yet for citizens willing to navigate the gauntlet, the initiative remains the strongest tool to directly author the laws they live under.